Hey, everybody, welcome to tonight's show. It is June 27th here, and Mr. Al's with us to tonight's show.
Hey, Robbie, how
It
are you?
is June 27th here. Let me make sure I don't have my thing going. I hear some back feed on your end.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
see.
I
It's
just
probably it's going to come in on my. I hate it because that little time thing comes through, and you can't cut the volume off behind that. So let's see who we got in here. Hey, Art's in here with Artco Drone Solutions. One Visual Arrows in here. Matt Bagwell, Jim Droning. I saw Jim's message. It said he's new here. He's a virgin here. Jim, we've seen you everywhere else. I know you've been on this show before, or you're joking, one or the other. Who else?
and there's
John.
John from
Yeah.
Flying Flint Media.
Media.
Cool.
Who else is in here?
Welcome, everybody. Good to see you.
TJ. Drone Views Media. Okay. Harley FPV. Steve Knowles. Okay. Well, tonight, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the Mini 3. Not that there's a new drone coming out, but with all the hype that was set up for the Mini 3, and those of you who bought the Mini 3, because some of you guys that have bought the Mini 3, when I've talked to you, it's been like, I'm like, did you fly it? No, it's at the house. It's like the buzz kills over, Al.
Yeah,
So I
that's a
mean,
good question. Is the newlywed period over with the Mini Three? That's a good question. I know that John at Flying Flynn's Media has it. So let me shoot him the link over. Maybe he could join us and discuss that with us too. I've also sent a link out to Brad Olson. Also, he has the Mini Three, and if anybody else in the chat has us, let us know. But we're wondering if the honeymoon period for the Mini 3 is over. Is it over, guys? What do you think, Robin? Do you think it's over?
well, it's hard to say because one thing that you'll find in the drone community is if somebody owns it, they're always going to talk it up being great. It's just the way it is, the way that it works out. But I mean, in our situation, it's like for me and you and some of these other people in the chat, it's like fast food. We got a variety already of drones sitting beside us. So another GPS drone is not going to make a huge thrill in our life unless it just does something ridiculous. I was flying probably 2 weeks ago when we went to sell the house, which is in a different province, a different state, actually. It's about 9 hours away. And I went to a beach and I was flying on the side of the beach where the restaurant was. And it was the only place, real nice area. Water had gone down and the water was way out where it started, but got some pretty cool shots. But like a storm popped up really quick, and when the storm popped up, I mean, Al, it was like the wind came in within like a minute, within like 60 seconds. I had just finished a hyperlapse.
Oh,
And as
thank
soon as
God.
I did, I took off and I was further down the beach. It's the first time I'd ever got a warning and it said descending or like descending altitude, high wind, cannot return to home. And I was like, oh shit. So I was trying to back it down, but it was actually lowering the altitude down for me. And it was that windy. So when I think about the Mini 3 and I tell people and they're like, oh, but I've got the Mini 2, I've never had an issue with wind. Al, me and you've had some wind issues before over the James when it's windy sometimes. And when the Mavic, you compare a Mavic 3 motor even to a Air 2S motor, which is bigger than the Mini 3, there's going to be some wind issues there. So I'm really curious to see who's had wind issues. I've heard a couple of pieces of information that some people with the Mini 3 have had issues with the controller connection and stuff like that. So, let's see who we can get in here that's actually got them. I passed on it. I know you passed on it for now. I got Johnny in the back room. I'm gonna bring him in because he has it. And then we sent a couple of messages out to a couple other people. So if you've got the drone and you're in the chat, let us know. I'll send over a link for you to join. And let's bring Johnny in, Al.
Hey, You know, Johnny Boy, Johnny
What's
Boy, how
up?
are you, buddy, man? How you doing,
Hey,
buddy? Long time
What's
no
up,
talk.
everybody?
Yeah, man. So, what is going
Hey,
on?
there you go.
What's going on in Louisiana,
I
man?
do, I do have the Mini 3. Here it is, right here. Yeah.
all right. Hey, is anybody else waiting for that, or has that already arrived? Everybody ordered it, got it already, Johnny, or are
No, they
some
got a
people
bunch
still
of people
waiting?
still waiting. I know Kevin the Moore, Uncle Kevin, DeMarco's uncle, is I think scheduled to get it maybe on the 14th. I think he said, or I'm not sure. They'll let us know in the chat. But yeah, it's still kind of slow shipping, I guess. Best Buy, I don't think it's came in
Yeah,
through
they
Best
don't have
Buy yet.
any on the floor at all, Johnny. You know, at all. I actually just did two quick stops at two different Best Buy, one at Virginia Beach and one locally here in the Richmond area. And they don't have them in stocks. You know, they pull up their little fancy little inventory checker, and they're like, "Nope,
Yeah.
you check it from you have to get it from the site."
Hey, got a birthday today, Rob. I got it. Dustin Gable birthday today. One
All right.
visionary.
Happy
All right,
birthday,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Got that Dustin. Dustin's a good guy. Helped me out with a couple of logos. He did something for Captain Ray. So yeah, great guy, man. Happy birthday. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Mini 3, I like it. I haven't. We've just been so busy getting this house getting the house started and all. But yeah, it flies really good, very responsive. Like of course a DJI product. You know how that is. Satellites come in quickly. Hadn't had any problems with that. Now I did get out about 2,000 feet and did have said adjust antennas, which you can't adjust the antenna in the RC controller. But I'm flying in a pretty Wi-Fi, pretty tight place here, so I kind of brushed it all to that, and it is a cell phone tower right there. So I don't know. I have to take it out to the swamp there and maybe try to do a little kind of I guess a range test. And I don't normally fly further than that, but hey, you want that good connection, not so much about distance.
So, Johnny, I had a couple questions for you. Have you had a chance to shoot in vertical mode? And
Yeah, I have. I've done a few little TikToks, and yeah,
so,
it's
how are you using it? Are you using it to supplement your normal everyday posts, or are you using it
yeah. I
as
think I really I think you try to if you can when you do a little. Of course, I use iMovie, and you could throw one vertical in there now. And if you want to do the TikTok type stuff or even the Instagram, it's pretty neat. Gives you a different perspective, coming off that. So I like it. It's I think it'll be. I think it's a great feature. I mean, it's not a feature you can. I guess you don't have to have it, but it's just something that's on there. That's I think a lot of the younger people like it for sure. They do a lot more TikTok and that kind of stuff. But hey, you can incorporate those vertical videos in the into your edits now. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think I'm eventually going to purchase it because I think I see definitely some good usage for TikTok and definitely for Instagram. That'll supplement. I have that GoPro Bones, the 10, and I mount
Right.
it vertically on my quad, so the dives will be coming straight down with the quad, but with the FPV quad, but going up, it will probably be that. The mini three shot. So because of the way you can angle the camera, you could just almost make it look like you're climbing with an FPV. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think that it's an added feature. I mean, I guess it's something that we always talk about. What'll be the next feature, the next drone, and that was kind of I said it was kind of with the obstacle avoidance. Of course, we all knew it would have that. Of course, the vertical video is something different.
yeah, yeah,
So
agreed. Agreed.
it's just another tool in your toolkit. I guess you could say it like that.
Now, have you had a chance to actually fly under objects and look up? I mean, I'm hitting
Yeah, I did
you.
a little. I did a little short video underneath the bridge, I-55. I was out there, and yeah, I kind of flew under. So you can look up. It's pretty neat, and I can see how like Al, especially where you're at, you do fly some bridges and stuff. So maybe it'd be great to. I was thinking like if you could shoot a train, kind of get below it a little bit, and out to the side, and then point that up. It'll give a whole different perspective. It's kind of like the Parrot and Nafi did.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. You could definitely unleash a little bit more of your creative shooting style if that's
Yeah.
what you're into, right? So,
Yeah, and then if you saw, of course, if you watched Half Chrome last night, you saw Jack and them, talking to the guys from Hubson, well, not Hubson, Exo. So there's a lot happening in the drone industry, and those drones, they were they had some. I think some of the guys in the chat were giving them a rough time, but those two young men I thought handled it good, and I think. The Mini 3, this is probably where we're headed. I think the smaller drones, of course, the Mavic 3. Al, you don't have the Mavic 3, do you? Or you do?
I do not. No, I
Okay.
do not.
Robbie, you have the Mavic 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's a big difference. I don't think that, a lot of people comparing this, saying, hey, if you got this, you might not need a Mavic 3. Well, Robbie, you would probably agree. This is totally two different drones between this and that Mavic 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, this is, I say it's maybe not a first time drone buyer, but it could be easily, if you do it with the regular controller. But, flying with this, I'm charging it now, it's charged. But, flying with this is so convenient. And I think that was a game changer because for me, I fly with this phone and it goes dim, it gets hot. Of course, I went down to an iPhone mini, so I'm even, got less screen. But, yeah, this is a game changer. So I think that this, will push a lot of people over the edge, maybe on this particular drone. Now, if they can make this compatible with the Air 2S and say the Mini 2, that'll really be, yeah. Because I've never had an RT style controller, and picking this up and this just to go fly, and then you still got your phone, man. That's very attractive to me.
I agree. Right. Yeah. So, what do you use for screen capture on your RC? Are you use anything to capture your screen?
You talking about screen recording and stuff
on the RC?
No,
you're not doing it.
It should be built in though.
It's built in.
I mean, you got telemetry on there, right? So, if you wanted to show somebody all your settings for your camera or your hyperlapse, I could go on and on and on.
You could screen record, on here. So.
It does have one. Okay.
Yeah. You got screen record, which I haven't done. I don't do a lot of. I don't say I don't like to. For showing you telemetry and some of that stuff is maybe, I don't know, not the best. That's just my opinion. But
what is it?
Yeah, the telemetry I'm not so interested in. It's more the photographic settings. I like when people show me their settings.
Yeah.
Especially something that pops. Because you're like, man. What settings did you use? Normally you have to ping somebody back and forth through the comments to get those answers, but it's always nice to just show it.
Yeah, and Jim said, I say Jim Drone said you screen record all the time. A lot of people do, from start to finish. I guess it's good to have, that's for sure.
I agree.
I never used it until Al made a good comment. Sometimes if you lose your drone and there's an incident, you've got a recording of it, and it'll help you find, because the first drone that Al gave me was the Spark, and me and him were flying, and I was trying to bring it in, and I overdid it and kept it up too long, and it did an emergency landing. And when it did, it landed in some real tall monkey grass, almost on top of an edge of a little creek. You remember, Al?
Yeah,
and I was like, Al, I'm not sure exactly where it's at. And he said, well, just look on your screen.
Yeah.
So from that, if I'm flying in an area, I don't fly that far out. Al will fly out and go on a voyage. And I have no idea where the drone's at, but he does. I'm different. I will keep it within line of sight easily for me to be able to know where it's at. So my question is, with the drone and the controller, do you feel like that something could be better on the drone or controller, or something you think they should have added to it? Do you feel like the distance is good on the controller and the drone together?
Well, I haven't. That's the furthest I've been out is about 2,000 feet, and I did get that adjust antennas, and of course you can't adjust the antenna on here, as you can see, they're built in. So I've just kind of brushed it off, like I said, the Wi-Fi. So I need to go out and take it, but I haven't really. I know Marcus hadn't had any problem as far as I know. Ron, I'm not sure if Ron, if he's been out too far to see. So I haven't seen a lot of range tests out there, but I'm sure people, a lot of people push them to the limits. And hey, I mean, I've seen people even with the Air 2S, they might be, further than they should be for one thing, and they're saying it's not far enough. But hey, that's to each their own. And I'm like you, Robbie. I usually, if you drive to a location, if you need to fly to your location, from wherever, that's probably you probably just need to get closer to what you need to shoot. And you save.
Exactly.
I will say battery time is seems to be real good. I'm not sure. Not sure it's the longest flight I got out of it, but I do have the Fly More with the 2 batteries, the extended life batteries, and then one with the so.
I had an experience with the Mavic 3. Me and my wife went out, and I was going to go around this huge. We're driving down the interstate, and I look to the right, and I see this huge Buddha statue up in the mountains. Huge. It's like 300 foot tall. It's probably an extra, maybe close to 100 foot in elevation from where I took off. I usually set my return to home at about 60 meters is good for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that. So I flew across the interstate where I was, flew out a good ways to go around it, to circle it. And I could only go up so high before it gave me the law warning, don't go above 300 foot here, ask for permission, So as I started circling, and I realized that I wasn't above it high enough. And I wasn't going to hit it, I was going to circle it. But here's the issue. When I got behind it, it blocked the signal from the controller to the drone. So it could have gone into return to home, and it could have gone to 60 meters. That means it would have come down. It could have got in the trees. So that's something to keep in mind. Next time I'll definitely drive up there and fly from the other one. But any of you guys that are going out, that are going to be flying around stuff, keep in mind what the elevation difference is, where you're taking off, and what you're going around. Because if you lose signal and you're not above that object and you get behind it like I did, I'm behind a huge. It's just enormous. There's no line of sight. There's no connection. I lost it. And luckily, it didn't go into return to home. It continued to go around it. But I was doing a little Tucker 10 like this when it happened.
Yeah, you can see it boot up here. So it's, and a lot of people, I saw some people in the chat say, it probably, I personally, I don't think it's going to be compatible with the Mavic 3. Only because it's a different price drone, and I just think that this probably, if they can make it compatible with the Air 2S and the Mini 2, that'd be a great plus, But I think that because this is, look, let's face it, this is a stripped down version of the RC Pro, type controller. So it's lighter. It's 700 nits. I'm not sure about the Al, what's the nits on the RC Pro?
I thought it was 950, but here's an interesting thought. Don't quote me on that one, though. Here's the interesting thought. So you notice that they're selling the Mini 3 without any controller at all, right? So What does that mean? What are they hedging their bets for? Here's what I'm thinking by asking that question to myself, is I'm thinking that the RC, the Pro RC for the Mini Mavic 3 will eventually control that one that you have.
Well, I
would say that. Yeah, I
would say that, but it's not going to be right. I don't think it would go the other way around, and that's one of the reasons why they're probably just selling the Mini 3 without any control at all, so you can mate it.
Yeah, you can't side load any apps on here, and one good, one I guess you do, still have to maybe check before you fly, or UAV forecast, or those kind of apps you might use. So you still have to do that on your phone, which is, should be part of your pre-flight checklist anyway. So maybe if they, could have had that on here, but hey, like I say, it's a stripped down version. Right. Somebody said that this was going to sell for $309. To me, that seems mighty cheap.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I don't really know where I saw that or read it or, Facebook, YouTube or somewhere, but $309 for this would be a steal because a regular controller is probably $119, I think, or something like that. So
they were smart. Yeah, they were smart by pairing that. By pairing that with the drone, they were smart because actually it is a really, really good price point for that. It really is, because you're getting that controller. And a lot of people that have never had a smart controller, they think, oh, it's not, it's not worth the extra money, this and that. But once you get it in your hand, Johnny, now that you've got one, once you get it in your hand and use it, it's a big difference.
It
When
is,
I bought,
and Jim, yeah, I see Jim's Droney makes a great point. He says the Mavic 3 uses the Mini 2 toy. And when I say, I don't think it's a toy controller, but it is compared to, but it did give you an option with the Mini 3 not to buy a controller at all. So maybe they should have did that option with if that toy controller can fly it. Then
Yeah, and here's the deal too. That Mini 2 controller is the same thing as the Air 2S controller. So
right,
yeah,
I
it's the N1.
don't
The
agree
N1
with that premise at all. That is a toy controller.
Well, if you got the Mini, if you got a Mini 2, Air 2, Air 2S, and a
Right.
Mavic 3, you got 4 controllers that
You could consolidate it all in one.
yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a good way to leverage it, especially if you're going out on a shoot and you're taking multiple drones. You never go out to do a shoot with just one drone. You always take at least 2 backups with you. At least I do. So yeah, that makes carrying stuff a lot easier too.
Yeah.
It gives you that flexibility if you need it. Hey, have you guys seen? You can now pre-order the new DJI HD controllers from Fat Shark. Have you guys seen this video? Let me see if I can pull it up and share it with y'all.
Okay.
So I'm there, Robbie. So if you share it, I'll play it.
Okay. Let me get my mouse over here.
All right.
Okay.
So this is what Race A Quad sent me. This link. There's the old Fat Sharks there. In the new breed of FPV flyers, I suppose. Sorry. So there's a lot of things that I like about this product. Right now, we're just going through, the normal flying. And, she's just having a good time cruising. But they're going to show the features here in a second. And I think it's going to be really nice to have. So they're basically going through the menu here. And then your telemetry, your goggles. But this is what's nice. That is fantastic, especially if you're out doing a shoot, like through a restaurant, a bowling alley, or something like that. Obviously they're doing the bando flying here, but consider this being, flying through a guy's bar, and you're flying through it. Is this the shot you want? Because you now
HDMI out.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good product. I mean, it's going to be a really good product. So, the price point on it, and that's Josh Bardwell stuff. $600 for the pre-order, and their Fat Shark Dominator HD FPV goggles. That's what they are. And here's what it looks like.
So how much are the DJI goggles?
They're just about $600 too. So you're probably going to see a lot. I was going to say you're going to see a lot of the DJI goggles in the market, but I don't see it happening. I think most people are going to have to keep those because they already have a lot of the infrastructure that requires those goggles be included.
Right. What about the new drone now that's coming out from DJI? What kind of goggles will it have with it?
The Avata is going to be on this system here. So you're going to have to purchase these goggles to fly the Avata. So
they'll come in. You think they're going to come in a kit also, though, Al, where you can get it all in one?
Yeah, I agree. It'll be kind of like the DJI FPV package that we got, I guess, 2 years
This would be great to plug into a widescreen at an event, like when we have an event.
Yeah.
Have a big widescreen plug it in so people can see.
Yeah, Hot Rod had that set up at the first South Florida Drone Meetup similar. He was flying GPS, but he had that set up. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and the beautiful thing about the specs is, we're going to get 1080p back to your goggles instead of the 720 we see today. And so you have all, the HD DVR recording, you have a USB-C video out, and that's like gold because then you can basically plug and play to anything. So they really thought about it. And then they're talking about this here, the HD VTX pre-order available here. Let's take a look at that. Let me click on that. See what this is all about. Okay. So this is nice, Robbie. The price point here is awesome. $159 for a VTX system that's digital and is running 1080p. It looks like it has no DVR in it. So this is comparable to the Vista, but it looks like a lot better resolution coming back.
So Al, if you had those goggles, you'd need that Fat Shark camera and stuff there to make if you had a analog.
Yeah, that's correct. So to your point, Johnny, I would have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6.
you need a bunch of them.
6 of these and a goggle. So I would have have to spend. Let's see, 4 of them would be $600. I would have to spend $900 to replace my VTXs, which happen to be either a Vista or an Air unit.
Right.
And then I would, on top of that, have to invest in the goggles. So I would have to to get in the game with what I have right now and just yank and replace the VTXs that I have would cost me $1,200.
So your controller would still be good.
Yeah, the controllers. That's a good point. Don't know yet. But I believe it is. I don't think they're going to change that protocol, but it could change it. So it looks like the normal, like from the looks of the antennas here. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the antennas are totally different too. Plugs. Oh, yeah. So not even the antennas are going to be compatible.
But Al, isn't there a second or third try at digital Fat Shark, or did they have something before or not?
Yeah, digital Fat Shark had let's call it digital systems. Let's see.
I would ask the same thing like some of those guys was asking EXO guys last night. Why would I buy a Fat Shark when DJI is proven? I mean, what would be the
difference? Yeah, because see, today in the racing market, in the race droning league, right? They use the Fat Shark Byte because there is an analog system and the latency is very low. So the problem with DJI is the latency is too high for racing.
Gotcha.
So once you get over 20 milliseconds latency, it's just you can't make those turns predictably. You have to kind of guess in pre-turn. And so it's unacceptable the way those guys dive into the gates and out and blah, 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 all the crazy things that they do, right? So, yeah, I mean, you know what? Everybody thought that Shark Bite was really going to compete with the digital system of DJI, but it was not even close. Not even close.
Right.
So most of the friends that I fly with, they all converted to a digital DJI system too. And they're not going to buy this next generation of Shark Dominator HD system. I don't know what it's going to be called. I mean, what is it called? It's just Fat Shark Dominator HD micro camera. So there's going to be Dominator HD, I guess, is what it's called. So I don't know. So but it looks very promising. Somebody's just starting to get into the deal. Then, why not go with this goggles? And you can watch Joshua Barville's video, and he'll break it down pretty well.
And if anybody would know, Joshua would know. That's for sure.
That's for sure. And I'm not going to bore you with that. But Joshua is the man for sure.
Yeah.
The Rotary Ride guys did a wonderful job too. They really did. I thought they did a wonderful job. Showing the pros and cons. So
I got a couple great products from Start RC today. They sent me a little little strap here for the Mini 3, you know, which doesn't come with a strap. You know, it's pretty neat. Got a little landing gear, extended landing gear here, which is pretty neat. You know, if you maybe in an environment that you need that. I did a little review on those, and I did actually. Al, look, they got prop guards for the Mini 3.
Yeah, that's actually very nice. So you can fly it indoors, you know, confidently.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they sent I'm gonna do a review on this case for the Mini 3. I tell you what, man,
That's a big sucker, man. Look at the size of that thing.
It's not much bigger than the Mini 2, a little bit bigger.
Well, it's bigger than my Air 2S case.
No,
I
got the Air 2S sitting right here.
This is the one I gave you with the Sparky.
I mean, you know, it'll hold the small controller and the drone and 3 batteries and a hub, screwdrivers, and I think this would be for.
So it's definitely as big as this thing.
Yeah.
No, I got the Air 2S right here. Let's see. The Air 2S is pretty big compared to, you know, it's a little smaller. It's not as it's not as fat either. Well, it's a great case. I mean, this case I think is only $59. So yeah, I'm gonna do a review on it tomorrow. So you know, it's definitely an option. I love the GPC case. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, but this is definitely
a good price.
Option.
Yeah, that is a good price.
Yeah, so I'll do a review on that, and I want to thank Start RC for sending me those products today. So yeah, they sent actually came with a Robbie. I know you. You know, you talked about ordering it. This came in there. I'm not sure if it comes or the guy sent it, and then it actually come with a lanyard. So, and I know
that's good. The lanyard, you'll appreciate that.
Yeah, and Dobo is working on a. I know, you know, that I do have a lanyard. They have 2 screws down here at the bottom of this controller, and I have a lanyard that I attached to it, and they sent one too. So it's pretty neat. Got some great products and great price for Start RC. So.
Yeah, so I suspect we're going to see a lot of different accessories coming out for the Mini 3 as people are 3D printing and innovating new things for it. I mean, that Mini 3 is so easy to catch. I was able to fly it with Brad one weekend, 2 weekends ago, I guess.
Yeah, Akarasha was asking right there, can you comfortably? Yeah, you can definitely comfortably hand catch the Mini 3.
Oh, yeah. All day long, man. It's easy. I mean, because the DJI products, like we were discussing earlier, they're so stable.
Yeah, Akarasha had a fight. What did he have a fight with? He's got a cut finger, a couple.
Oh no! Who won the fight?
He that video is you need to watch it.
Okay.
But yeah, so the Mini 3, I think is going to be of course, you know, I think it'll be. Probably, I don't know. You know, this year I think what we'll have, you know, the competition is always, we always talk about the drone of the year. Well, you know, we'll have the Nano Plus, we'll have the Mini 3, we'll have the new DJI FPV drone, and we'll have the EXO drone. So you know what, this year may be some competition. So it'll be fun because the Air 2S ran away with it the year before, and then the Mini 2, I think was it the Air? Maybe the Air and then the Air 2S. So yeah, you know,
I think Light Johnny will compete heavily.
And it's a time to pick up a great Mini 2 probably from somebody that's stepping up to the Mini 3. There's a lot of great drones out there for sale, and I think when you buy a drone from maybe somebody in the community and stuff, I think you know you're safe. I think it's a great drone, and they're going to be honest with you. So hey, you know, I sold a Mini SE. I sold the original Mini. I'm hanging on to the Mini 2. My granddaughter's going to kind of fly it. And then, of course, I got the B-Copter that I got from Dustin. So, yeah, you know, it's a great time to do a little swapping and moving up, stepping up, you know.
Yeah. If you had 2 drones, or if you had 2 drones between the Mini 3 and the Air 2S, which one you keeping?
Air 2S.
Oh, I saw a couple of people out there that were trying to compare. They're like, man, it's like an Air 2S. I was like,
well, and listen, I think the Air 2S is a beast. It's a beast. The camera's a beast. It's in the wind. The battery is good.
It's
There's
the
really,
motor.
you know,
It's the motor.
if you could fly that Air 2S with this, you know, that would just, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a grand slam. It's not a home run. You
Yeah.
know, it's not a regular home run.
Now we had a firmware upgrade on the Mavic 3, and I guess what I want to know is, Chuck, how is your satellite connection on yours now? Because I know Chuck has been having issues pretty much from the start when that drone came out, and a couple other people have also. So I'm curious to know, how is your speed on getting your satellites now since the last firmware upgrade? Good or the same? Let us know in the chat, because I see you out there, Chuck.
Yeah, Robbie, Chuck makes a good point. You know, this drone in other parts of the world, you know, the 250 is a big deal. For us, it's
Sure.
$5 if you're a Part 107. If you're not Part 107, you don't have to worry about it. But the
Right.
Air 2S, you know, for us is you know, I mean, I'm not sure the weight of this drone with the extended life battery. It's more than 250 because the battery is quite. I mean, when you pick up the regular battery and then pick up the extended battery, it's like one's empty and one's got something in it. You know, that's the difference. So, but yeah, you know, to other parts of the world, man, under 250 is a big deal. You know, and we don't make a big deal out of it. You know, I mean, really, you know, we don't need a 250 in underground in the United States. I'm not saying we don't need it, but we could do without it if we had to. But other parts of the world, they can't fly unless they fly in this.
Yeah.
Unless they go through the rigmarole of getting all the licenses too.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you can get your Canadian. I know Lauren talks that there's a Canadian version. Geeks Bond and them have a, you know, UK version there. What they need to get, but you know, and this drone is not cheap in other parts of the world. I mean, it's not cheap here, but it's definitely, you know, so it's
Hey, Barry.
it's a fun drone, and for us, it's kind of like a plus. You know, we can have anything we want, I guess, which is great. You know.
Yeah.
So would you buy it again? So would you buy it again after? Had you not got it yet, and everybody, all the other people have it, would you? And knowing what you know now, would you still buy it?
You know,
Because you got other GPS drones. That's why I'm saying.
I will say, you know, the Nano Plus. I mean, and the Nano, you know, still catching a little hell from people because they still haven't done the active track and a few things. But I really love my Nano Plus. It flies really good. The camera's great. Now, this drone's a lot faster. To me, it's a little stronger. But you know, I think you have to know what, you know. Just like, hey, I got in your truck, Robbie. I'm gonna say your truck drives different, even though it might be the same as a F-150 and. You know, if I got an Al's car. So all these drones fly a little bit different. So, you know, I think people need to get what they need and the way they fly. You know, I know a Skydio 2 for me, I wouldn't do anything with it. But this I can do something with. The Nano Plus I can do something. You know, it's like the V-Copter. I had a chance to buy that V-Copter from Dustin, and it was a great and I had fun flying that drone. It's a different drone. The cameras is just okay. But I know that. So when I just want to fly and have fun, I'll take the V-Copter up, you know.
Yeah,
that's good to hear, Johnny. I'm glad that you like it. You know, I think eventually, like I was telling Robbie, I think I'll pick it up, but it's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, the first one, I mean, they you know, it actually got $100 off. I mean, if that drone, and then listen, we always want things brought down a little bit in price. I mean, you know, hey, when I show somebody a house, if it's $100,000, they'll go, well, it'd be better if it was 90. Well, it'd be better if it was 80. You know, so I mean. We want drones cheaper. All we want is, you know, we want bigger cameras. We want longer batteries. We want more features, but we want a lower price. You can't have it all, you know.
Right. Well, I think we're getting so many features in the minis. It's like we're running out of issues on what we can put in that weight limit.
Absolutely. And I asked Billy Kyle the same question. I mean, you know, what's going to be next? I mean, really, what's going to be next, and even the whole drone, you know, world. I mean, what's coming next? I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, Hal, you know a lot more about photography. I mean, I know the cameras, but hey, 6K, 8K, 10K, 12K, where's it going to go? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it's going to continue to get better sensors, low light capabilities, but
yeah.
The artificial intelligence is going to continue to get better for sure.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the next. I think the waypoints. I think some kind of mapping type stuff, you know, would be. I think, of course, battery life. I think battery life will be. And battery life is already increasing. I mean, you know, that V-Cop, of course, it only has two props, two motors. So yeah, it does. I've gotten I think 41 minutes out of flight time, which is that's a long time in the air.
Even if you just had a tricopter, instead of a quad, you could definitely increase your flying time, because that's what's going on for the long range FPV flying to community. They're moving from the quadcopter to the tricopter because of the fact that you eliminate one motor and then you get that extended flying.
I see Chuck asked a question. Chuck, I haven't experienced. I've taken this out on probably a 96-degree day, no shade at all. I will say the drone does get pretty hot, but I didn't see any overheating issues. Now if you get caught in the field and maybe you have to do an update and that drone's sitting, if you try to do it, I mean, you could do it in your truck, I guess, with the air conditioner running, but I wouldn't sit anywhere, bounce it off your car or somewhere where, it's going to reflect heat under here and all, because there is no fan. The Nano Plus has a fan in the drone and in the controller.
Yeah.
So it definitely, but this drone will get warm now. I will tell you, it's I mean, it's not going to burn your hand, but you definitely could feel it heat up.
Well, you remember with the original Mini, it would get hot and it would just shut down. It would tell you it was just turning off. Because I mounted it on a big old RC truck and drove it around my crawl space, because I didn't want to go down there and crawl around my space. So I just mounted my Mini on top of my RC car. So I basically had a FPV truck, and the FPV was my Mini, and it was recording everything, because I had a leak down there. I was trying to figure out where it was coming from before I even headed under there to see what it was.
I haven't had that problem, Chuck. And I will say the one thing for me different, I hardly ever took my SD card out of the drone, but you can't transfer your pictures. You can turn the drone on and turn the control off and do quick transfer from drone through the DJI app. So I've been having to take my SD card out and put my pictures on my laptop and stuff. So there's no quick transfer from here to your phone, because when you fly with your phone, they're right there on your phone already. So, but hey.
Yeah, because you leave the drone on while it's on the ground and transfer all your videos over to your phone, and then you can post them immediately at that time.
Yeah.
So you would have to turn that off, and
you got to turn the control off and you're connected to the drone. Yeah. And it's not, or you can take. I mean, listen, it's not hard to take your SD card out and swap it and put another one in, and but it's a little more aggravating to come in and do it on you. If you want to get something up real quick, maybe.
I get your point, but I guess the point I'm trying to make, if you're out in the field and you want to upload a picture, you would have to go through the Fly app on your phone,
right,
to get it to your phone, and then you could post it up to whatever platform you wanted to post it.
Yeah, and Chuck makes a good point there. I agree, man. There's so many people. I mean, there's still people. I mean, I understand. I didn't have the Mavic 3. I understand if you had a satellite issue. Hey, I understand that. But even this drone, I mean, it gets satellites pretty quick. I mean, I don't mean it, to me, it doesn't get them quite as fast as the Air 2S. But okay, you're supposed to be doing a little pre-flight checklist. And a lot of times, when you turn your drone on, even turn the RC controller on, you're making sure it's set to return to home, make sure it's the same. And, so you can't take off for 30, 45 seconds or a minute. Big deal, You're supposed to be having fun.
I would like to see some competition in some new drone companies coming out. But the issue is every time these companies come out with what seems to be a great product, there's always issues. And they take so long, if never resolved, where we know when we buy a DJI product, if it's an issue, we know that it's always going to be a software issue, and they're going to fix it. And that gives people that comfort zone in order, for buying those products.
Yeah. Yeah, now I would. So John makes a good point. Yeah, the guy who designed this gimbal cover. Now, I'm sure it was his first day on the job, and maybe they told him to. Maybe they gave him, but what you have to do, you have to,
they gave him the camera. Nobody wanted.
You have to make sure it's flat, and then it goes straight in, and you snap it, and it's as easy as that. But you have to make sure you go perfectly straight. But yeah, I'm sure that he was a low man on a totem pole, but. And once you take your time, you go straight in.
Late to the meeting, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he was. Maybe they told him he had to work late on a Friday afternoon and design this, but really, it's not that hard. If the biggest thing, guys, if you go straight in perfectly and keep that gimbal, it snaps right in. So very easy.
Ron Brown posted a video, I think, where he was doing a review on I think it was Skyreet, the ND filters. So we know that they've got those ND filters out. Have you gotten any of the ND filters yet, Johnny?
I have not. I see somebody got them from Freewell, I believe. Actually, and then Ron had. I'm.
PGY Tech.
Skyreet.
Yeah,
And
PGY
he said
Tech.
he had good luck with those. I haven't. I haven't put an ND filter on it yet. No, I have not. I need to reach out. Maybe. See if I was hoping maybe Start RC would do some, because they got some great products, but I don't think they do ND filters.
Yeah, I'm thinking PGY Tech will be next with that.
Yeah. PG Biotech makes some great products too. They really do. All
I like my cases. I'm happy with my cases.
Yeah, I'm really stoked over this. I'm really stoked over this case. I mean, it is. I mean, it's got the name right there, and then look what it's got the Mini 3 Pro on a case. I mean, it's pretty neat.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna fly with one drone, the one drone, I'll take a hard case. Al's got a stock room full of hard cases. I mean, they're hard when you're trying to carry a couple of them. And I like the PGY Tech soft, flexible one because I can put it on. But the one I have is made for the smart controller in the Mavic 3. They make another one for the Air 2S, but it's not set up for the smart controller. And I don't want to buy it just to put the drone in. So it would be nice if they made a case for dual drones with a smart controller, because they're compatible now.
Hey, Robbie, I'm going to share my screen. Here's an interesting product I just found on not a file. I'm
laughing at Chris Waters. Yeah, that Mini 3 gimbal cover can be you just got to take your time. Go straight on as possible.
Well, it's not as bad trust me, it's not as bad as the Mavic 2 Pro. Okay, so what we're looking at here, it's an interesting product. It looks like it fits right on the case. Right on. Oh, no, this is not the one I was looking at. Sorry, got the wrong one, Robbie. I'm going to stop there. Let me find the right one.
I'm going to put a link in the chat, guys. We got everything fixed with Google finally on the YouTube channel. When I left the U.S. and came here, I had to switch phone numbers, and through authentication and verify, me and Al have not been able to get into the YouTube studio for like 6 months. And just instead of fighting with them, we just went and set up a new channel, The World Drone Community, instead of World Drone Community. So we'll drop this channel, which I hate because we got a lot of videos, which we make about downloading and moving over. And we got a lot of subs on this one. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for the new YouTube channel. And the next one that we have, when you get your notification, it'll be over at the new one. So, y'all know that we're doing it every 2 weeks now. So we're not doing it every week. So here's the link. So if you've not subbed, go ahead and sub that. And then, like I said, the next one that we have in 2 weeks, it'll be on the new channel for that. And I appreciate it if y'all would do that. And hit that thumbs up button too. We got 14 likes, and I think we had close to 30 people in the channel a little while ago. We got 19 in here now.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up, guys.
Yep. Appreciate it, guys. So, Johnny, you can see over my shoulder here, I have that the drone that little orange Autel Mini. I think out of all those drones, you know which one's the fastest?
The FPV.
Yeah, it is.
The FPV's quick.
Yeah, the FPV is the fastest. The one you love to hate because the camera was messed up.
Yeah. I know the FPV. Look, I'll tell you what. If you want a drag race, that's the drone to bring to a race.
Yeah, I'm going to do a drag race one day.
I mean, you might get lost with the tilted horizon, but you're gonna get there first.
You might not know.
Race. Remember, Al? Remember the race we did when I first started flying?
Yeah. I took Robbie to a high school. He didn't know what he wanted to buy. And I brought all my drones. I go, fly this one, fly this one, fly this one. And then he was flying the Mini, and he goes, where are you? I go, I'm at the end of the football field. He goes, dang, I just started to see the football field.
For a new flyer going out to fly, I was so excited just to have something, and it was the original Mini that I was flying about. Right. I was like, man, this is just the drone I need. I need this drone. I want this drone. I was going crazy because I was just so excited about, I'm gonna get me a drone. And then we take off and he's flying like the Air 2 or something down the other end. And then I'm like, Al, where are you? And he's like, I'm right here in front of us. I'm like, I've not even reached the goalpost at the other end. And he's back. And I'm like, maybe it's not what fly. It's not really when you're getting a new drone for the first time, you got to look at two things: your flight time of your battery, but then your speed. You can have a shorter flight time on a drone if you've got a faster drone because you're actually saving time getting where you're going to video that. I mean, honestly, when I take a video with the Mavic 3 and I'm going full throttle, that's a fast damn video. I mean, it's like it's different. You want to slow down a little bit. So yeah, I was really excited when we did, but we did the drag race and we did the FEMI. We did a bunch of drones that day at the
Yeah,
school house.
So I see Chuck. Chuck? When is your drone supposed to be delivered, and where did you get it? I'm not sure if Chuck went through Best Buy or B&H or
Yeah, that was a question for you. Where did you buy yours from?
DJI.
DJI.
Yeah, that
I just
morning,
wonder.
I think May 25th, we ordered, me, Ron, and Marcus ordered about probably 8:55. Oh, it was before 9 actually. Here,
When
the
they
time. So,
when they come out new like that, I like to buy them from the manufacturer. But if it's something that's already out, buy it through Amazon. It's so convenient because if you ever have an issue, they're just gonna send you another one. You ain't
Hey,
got to go
Chuck.
through the DJI rigor mortis.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's talking about June 29th. I was just on the Amazon page and they were showing you could buy the Mini 3 for $909
right.
and same date, June 29th. It'll be the pre-order date that they'll.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they do send it out that day, he'll have it in probably the next day or 2 days. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So, unfortunately for Chuck, uh, a lot of other people are going to get it without having to float your money that long. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure when you purchase that, Chuck. But yeah, that's the only thing about pre-order, man. You kind of float the money to those folks.
But
Let them.
Al, you've been doing this a little longer than me, and don't you feel? I know we still kind of jump on Hubson, we still get on FEMI and all, but don't you think on the whole those drones, even that those companies have gotten better through the last couple years, even though they've been a little shaky?
Agreed. I mean, look at the original Xeno, and then when we saw the Xeno Pro, and then the Xeno 2,
Right?
and the Xeno 2 Plus, and then now we see, the Xeno Mini Pro, and I mean, it just gotten so much better. The camera on the Xeno Mini Pro is probably the best camera they have on the
Yeah.
market today, in my opinion.
And
This little sucker right here, man, this little camera is so nice, and it does have, a heat shield that you're supposed to be on here, and I never
right.
put it on because I'm always catching it, and when that thing hits, it feels like you're going to break it or fall off. You would catch that, and it would come off. So yeah, this is one of the better drones. The Horizon problem still continues to plague.
That's why a lot of people don't realize the Nano Plus. I know they griped about the price a little bit, but listen, the controller, and I think Al, you'll agree, the controller on a Nano Plus is by far the best controller. I mean, it even makes this
Yeah, you could definitely use it as a weapon if you need
yeah,
it.
it is well built, and then it has a fan, and the Nano Plus has a fan, and it's got of course it's got audio, which is nice because you're using your phone. So I like that feature when you live stream. So
And
the
it
Nano
feels
Plus,
so good in your hands. It feels like
it
a
does.
nice game controller that
It
you would
does.
be playing.
I love the game style. That's kind of what I use to fly in my little FPV
It's
Tiny
so
Hawk 2.
comfortable. Instead of the boxy thing where you're having to contort your fingers around to the wheels and to the bottom switches, you're feeling like I'm going to end up with a creak in my neck before.
Yeah,
if
guys. I
fly
mean,
the
and
first
that's
time.
what I think everybody says. Well, the drone feels light. Well, the Mini 2, the
They
Mini
have
3,
to be light.
if you take the battery out of all those drones, there's
Yeah.
really nothing in there hardly. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't even move the scale.
And that's one of the reasons why the Mini 3's antennas are not in arms, because they're going to save weight by
Sure.
not having to route the cables, the wires all the way out to the end of those arms. So by tucking them in close and tight, hey, a piece of wire.
Yeah, and Jim's right. I wish it did have audio. I love the audio on a Nano only because when you're trying to talk while you're flying, it syncs up really good. And also, when you're trying to edit, I think it makes it easier. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what does Chuck say here? We have okay. Yeah, you might be on the losing side of that one, but let's hope not, Chuck. I think you're going to win this one. Yeah, and we agree with that. Obviously, all the controllers, in my opinion, all the RC controllers should have a built-in FPV display. A lot of them have, the little LCD displays like the DJI Mavic 2 Pro and 2 Zoom have the built-in display. That's always nice because all your telemetry is there. Even if your phone died, you could still fly it back just with telemetry if you
right.
need.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the smart controllers and uploading and downloading stuff. On my RC Pro, when I do a video and it leaves it in the software on the controller, it's actual tethered to my cell phone for the Wi-Fi for the internet connection. So I can just take the low resolution images and videos straight from the smart controller, and I've got Facebook Lite set up on my smart controller, and I just use it like I use my cell phone and just upload the images and everything portrait. So I'd like to see some changes on the Mini 3 controller to be able to do that, because I think you can tether it to the Wi-Fi, right, for your firmware updates. That's probably why they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think, I think it's time that DJI gives you an option to, the Mini 3, you had the option to buy no controller, the regular RN controller, or the RC controller. So the Mavic 3, if you're spending $2,200, if you want just a drone with a regular controller, it should have been that option. And if you want it with maybe a scaled down version of this RC controller, would have been another price. And then if you want to go all the way up to the RC Pro, it gives you 3 choices. I mean, that's how it ought to be to me.
Yeah,
they're smart because when they introduced that smart controller, and I've noticed over the last drones they've been releasing, it's like releasing drones. When you start getting in the prices of some of these smart controllers at the price, it's like an extra product. So it's a way for them to throw a little more cheese into the game for people to buy. But for the price that the Mini 3 sells for, to get that smart controller, even though it's a toned down RC Pro, is definitely worth the money.
Oh, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I mean, for 60 or whatever is $679 to $909, I think it is.
I mean, the Mini 2 is a great drone.
Yeah,
it's a great drone. But again, you go to the situation with a smart controller. If they make the other smart controllers compatible with the Mini 2 or even the Mini 3, I mean, that would be
the Air 2.
Yeah, exactly. If you had the Mavic 3, the Air 2S, and that Mini 3, and they all use the same controller, you'd really have the whole ball of wax for GPS drones. But between those 3, they do everything that any of the drones do.
Yeah, and then you'd have one case with one controller, and then you could put like all your drones in there, and you'd have one little suitcase and run with it,
No, I carry my PGY Tech with my Mavic 3, my smart controller, and the batteries. And then I've got like one of those little zipper things that, you put around your neck that unzips. And I can barely get my Air 2S in it, and I zip it up alone to take the 2 drones out because I use the same controller. But damn, it would be nice.
Yeah. But they all do something different. The Air 2S, you cannot zoom in a photo mode, and that is the most aggravating thing about the Air 2S.
But you can do it in the Mini 2.
You can do it in the Mini 2, right? Sometimes when I have the Air 2S and I'm trying to zoom, I say, God darn, I got to put this drone down because I want to zoom on my photo, which is so stupid. Now, is it something to do with processing? Is it what the hell is it?
It's a feature that I don't understand. It's just a digital zoom again, so it's just cropping of the sensor to make it look like you're.
I just don't think they're gonna put all those features in all the drones where all the drones have got the same features.
Right. No,
I think they're given and taken where they force you. If you want it, you got to buy it.
No, I agree, Robbie. You're right. Listen, if they put everything in that Mini 3, gave you a controller, gave you every feature that, 28 times zoom was couldn't be that much, but whatever, then, hey, you would never step up and buy a new drone,
Yep.
I know. And to Robbie's point about the RC controllers getting so pricey, I was just thinking that you could buy two mini SEs for the price of one of those RC controllers.
Yeah, but the problem is the SE is not 4K; it's 2.7K.
Yes, but the point is, if somebody doesn't have the
The SE is
discretionary income,
is the SE
and you have,
Wi-Fi?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you
Yeah, but
don't
you
have
know
the
what? That's a great
discretionary,
start. But so
yeah,
the beginning lineup is going to be the SE, the Mini 2, the Mini 3. They're doing away with the Air 2. It'll be Air 2S and then the Mavic 3.
And I think that's a shame because the Air 2 is still a good drone. It really is. And honestly, Air 2, if you could get it at a good price, that'd be a great extra. I would buy the Mini. I would buy the Air 2 before I buy the Mini 2 personally. I would.
If you it just depends if you wanted a mini drone under the
Yeah.
250. Because here's the deal, guys. Remote ID is coming now. Is it coming in October? Is it coming in November? So will that Mini 2 or Mini 3 get you out of that remote ID? I don't know.
and how many people are going to enforce that? It's so weird.
Al, you're right. And listen, I know you do FPV, so I mean, listen, I don't think a lot of FPV flyers are going to worry about it. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, how many FPV flyers are going to break that module and lose it, right? So,
Yeah.
So that's the problem we have with FPV world is those things are going to go flying off all the time, and you're going to go,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that blew $25-$30 just
Right.
because the government said that they want to know what my drones do. Well, my drone's going to be moving so fast and landing every 2 minutes. You're not going to be able to find it anyway.
Maybe it's going to get delayed again a little bit. Who knows? I haven't heard. I'm going to try to get Vic Moss back on maybe, and he'll try to catch us up pretty soon on what's happening.
If you really want to spend some money, check this out, Robbie. This is where the money goes in. This thing is a beast. I'll share my screen and I'll play it whenever you're ready, Robbie.
The M30. I wish it was cheaper because honestly, I talked before, I would like to have it for the point of doing the border patrol with the guys.
Yeah.
Because the Mavic 3 was such a difference from their Mini 2. When they zoomed and they looked at my Mavic 3, they're like, what is that? Because we could just zoom so far and see the people trying to cross the border on it.
Yeah, and obviously we're seeing. I don't know what happened here. It just stopped.
It's what 60. You start off at like $6,400, I believe.
Yeah, it's $12K by your time you're done, but you can see that the U.S. is probably not going to buy it, but it sure is a wonderful product. There's no doubt about it. The cameras are incredible. With the infrared. Imaging, thermal imaging, and just
that would be the only drone you would need right there for sure.
And talking about a controller, this is a controller.
It's like a computer.
It probably is.
I think there's a limit. There's a limit on how big and the technology. Because I'll be honest, the Matrice is so big and the batteries are so big. My Mavic 3 will do everything that the Matrice will do. Keep in mind, the camera is a different situation because you can mount some super expensive high-tech cameras and thermal imaging on it, but it's mainly used for magnetic work, like if somebody's doing line work or something like that. Because a lot of people say, well, why would someone buy something so big? It is one of the only drones still on the market today that, like, a lot of people use them in coliseums when they do sound checks on the equipment. You can't take a drone up near those speakers and crank up the amp. The GPS goes crazy on the other drones, but the Matrice has got 3 GPSs on it. It will not move no matter what you do. Electricity too, and these other drones, they'll go crazy. That's why people buy it. But my Mavic 3, it's faster. It's just all around better, and it's compact.
It's IMI interference, right? It's shielded from any of the IMI, and that's why it's so important to have, because it's not going to get that, magnetic field induced into the flight controller because it's shielded.
That's a hell of a
And that's
drone.
that's where these drones come in. These
Yeah,
aren't the regular drones that we fly to do, hey, I'm going to buy this to do a great picture. It's not made that for that. It's made for like if you want to do thermal imaging or do something high tech, this is what you want, what kind of equipment that you need to do it
yeah,
with.
and I really love this ground station too. You can see that it's got built-in weather station with a camera, so it lands and then it just closes itself right up. So and then recharges. It is ready to go and programmed again. So yeah, quite crazy, quite nice. Definitely a game changer. Just too bad that it's a Chinese company. I wish it
Yeah,
was.
with the all-tail drone is the only other drones that I've owned other than the DJI, and I was really not satisfied with the Nano, which everybody knows. I'm not satisfied with Alltel's service they've given. Now I'll say this: the people that own the bigger Alltel drones, they seem like the Mavic 3 type. They're heavy, they're solid, and I don't ever hear people complaining about those bigger drones. But when me and Al have flown, and Al's let me fly some Femies and some other stuff that he has, and I guess the best way to explain the difference between one flying a DJI is like driving a BMW through this compared to driving a Roadrunner, an old Roadrunner. I mean, it doesn't have the suspension and handling, and the DJI is just so solid. You remember when we went out to the lock gates at the water down at the river, and we flew one of those. It was either the Feeney or one of them, and it hovered, but it drifted a little. It was like this, like a race car. It shook, and the DJI didn't do that. The DJI is more like a sewing machine. It's just smooth, and we buy them. And when we first started our Facebook group, and we'd invite people to come to the group, a lot of them would say, I'll join the group as long as it's not going to be one of those DJI lover, because it seems like every time I talk about buying a new drone, everybody says DJI, and they don't understand until they buy a piece of shit, and then they buy it and fly it, and they get a bad taste, they never get into drones, or they get smart and then buy a DJI, and they're like, why didn't I buy this from the start? If you don't have the money for the drone, then people just don't understand. We fly it every day, and it's not because I own it or Al owns it or Johnny owns it. And I think everybody in our chat owns a DJI drone. I don't see anybody in here that's new, but in those groups, man, you'll hear people say, "I want a drone. I got an $89 budget." And I'm like, "Okay, go to the Toys R Us and look for a drone there."
Well, I think when you buy a drone, you don't have to. Listen, if you buy, I'll tell you, Al, you laughed about the Femi. To me, it was a piece of crap. But my Nano Plus, I'm not going to defend it just because I bought it. It's a little slow. I would say that's probably the biggest thing about it. If you get caught out in the wind, even in that what they call ludicrous mode. So,
Yep.
The motors are not quite as strong, but the camera, I think the camera is better than the Mini 2 by far. And probably rivals the Air 2S. I'm not saying I'm not a big camera guy, and I'm not sure about all the specs as far as, but the Nano Plus is damn good on camera.
Yeah, the low light capabilities of the Nano Plus and the Xeno Mini Pro
Right.
definitely are better than the Mini 2's camera
Right.
in low light conditions.
Yeah.
You definitely
each drone, like you said, it does a little something different,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and that's the beautiful thing. Just like humans, we're all different. Look at our bodies; we're so
Just like kids.
and it's like
Yeah,
having your
no,
kid.
not like kids. They all bad.
Well, I know, but Johnny's got three. I mean, Al's got three kids now. Each one of his kids has got like an art. Like, well, one daughter is in the medical field. She knows all about medical. He's got a son that's a gamer that knows everything about gamer. I don't know that much about Christina. She's quiet, but every kid is different.
You know why? She's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, she's quiet, but it's funny because now with my wife's daughter, she's 10 years old, and I'm watching her grow up compared to how my kids grew up and how I grew up. We're all different. We all have the same bugs, but we all different. And that's the way the drones are. When people say, well, why are you buying multiple drones? If you got a GPS, why would you do it? There's different reasons. Some need a better camera. Some I want a little bit more power to fly over water. But for me, the big issue here, again, is wind, and when you're flying these mini drones, if you're in a windy area, pay attention and always try to fly into the wind first. So when you lose battery, you can make it home.
Do you know anybody that really has one drone? Do I know anybody that has one drone? One drone and one drone only.
I've met a few people that way.
Yeah, but they don't fly out. I mean, it's like the people that I know that might have one drone.
Yeah, you're
right.
Like,
I got a drone. I haven't flown it in 3 years. I'm like, you're not you don't really drive.
Well, I think Don Mudball only has the Air, maybe the Mini SE, I think. But he does a lot of videos, and he has a lot of fun with that one drone. So you gotta listen, guys. You don't need a Matrice. You don't need a Mavic 3. You just need a drone. Get out there and have fun.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, if you really just want to jump into the game, jump into the Tello.
Yeah,
you can never go wrong with the Tello. It's $100. You should that's $100 spent right there, because that thing is DJI. Okay.
Yep.
It's a collaboration between Tello and DJI, so you can fly it with your phone and it's safe.
When David got the mini, the original mini, David bought it, and he flew it, and I kept telling him, get the Mini 2, don't get that, get the Mini 2, and he bought it, and then after he got the Mini 2, he goes, wow, what a difference. So it's good to see as people upgrade.
Here you go. Get the Air 2S. Get the Air 2S.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Like, you need the Air 2S. And he defends that Mini so hard. Yeah, but I've been reading reviews. And was like, I don't give a crap what you review. We own these drones. We fly them more than most of these people. Anybody that reviews a Mini 2 and says it's better than Air 2S needs their head examined.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
Get out there and fly what you got. It's summertime, man. Don't worry about keeping up with everybody. Just if you got, listen.
Oh, talking about summertime. I was at Virginia Beach this week. Let me show you some shots. I got some shots in there.
Man, I miss that area. I miss that restaurant that's on the beach. I mean, I know there's a bunch, but there's one really good restaurant near is it the Neptune statue?
Oh, there's like 2 or 3 of them right there, right on the water. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And
they're always packed, and I love it there.
Yeah, it's a nice place. There's no doubt about it.
I always stay at the Seaside Hotel. When I went down there, all the resorts are like, how much are you paying for your room? $100? Tell you what, we'll give you 3 nights for $100. Come over to us. I mean, it was just killing those hotels when they do that. The timeshare company.
Is that like casino? Do they have casinos over there?
No, not casinos, but they've got a bunch of timeshares, and over the years, the timeshares have offered like free rooms for 3 nights compared to 1. And what they do is they suck all the money out of the hotels, and guess what? The hotel has to close, and guess who buys the hotel, crashes it, and builds a big one? This group of timeshare companies. They've over the last 15, 20 years, they've just, eaten up all the hotels in Virginia Beach on that road right through there.
Yeah, and not only that, the big Marriotts and Hiltons are there too. So
yeah.
And then,
hey guys, I'm gonna hop off. I haven't eaten yet, but I want to thank y'all.
Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we need to
drop. We gone 20 minutes over. Let's go ahead and end now.
Yep.
And then we'll do that. But look, guys, we're going to be sending out. I will post on Facebook and get the other guys to post the new channel. I'll put it in the link. Subscribe there. This is our last show that we're going to have on this channel, and we'll have it on the New World Drone Community channel. So the links here, we'll be posting it each week in the Facebook groups to let you guys know to go and sub. We'll get some content, videos, and images in there where it's not blank. I just wanted to try to we got 430 subs on our channel now. We got 28 on the new channel, but look, it's just not worth fighting for. We keep the same guys coming through. I don't have 400 and something people that visit this chat every week. You are the guys that help make this channel. So I don't care if we got 28 people or we got 400. It doesn't matter. I just want to be able to keep the connection between us so we can share it as a group between me, Al, Johnny, Ray Kelly, and the other people that have, that have live streams. And do you have anything you want to say, Al, before we get off?
No, that's it. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to have John Carroll on the show Thursday night, guys. It's JC flying.
JC, yeah.
So drop by and say hi to give John a warm welcome. He doesn't show his face very often on this live stream. So
No, he
it's a
loves to
real
fly at
treat.
night too. John's
Oh,
a
and
night
he's
fly.
the nicest gentleman, man.
Yeah.
I mean, nicest gentleman to chat
Served
with.
our country. He's a man, a big time veteran, and man, I thank John for his service. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So when we were at the South Florida Drone Meetup, he took a shirt that he was given to him, and he walked up to you. Would you please sign my shirt?
Yeah.
Everybody signed it, and he framed the shirt with all the signatures.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Cool.
He is the nicest gentleman you'll ever meet. So drop by Thursday night, 7:00, Duran Fly Channel.
Yeah, Wednesday
Okay.
night Fly for Fun show. We got who do we have? Chris Campbell and Paul Brown, Wedging Big and MB Drones. So yeah, first. Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks on the next show. Thanks.
All right, thanks.